Good Monday morning. Thanks for joining us on Kare 11 News Now. I'm Megan McPherson. Developing now, 3 people are dead and 4 others are hurt after a shooting in Seattle last night during a major food festival at the Seattle Center Civic Complex. Police believe 2 people were firing at each other. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington, D.C.
Hi there. Federal agencies here are offering their support to police in Seattle who say 2 people died at the scene. A third died at the hospital. In an overnight press conference, authorities started sketching out what happened, but there are a lot of questions unanswered. Terror and tragedy in Seattle, where police say 3 people are dead, at least 4 others injured but stable, including a toddler, after a shooting at a packed food festival in the heart of the city. Witnesses started hearing pops.
What I thought were firecrackers, and people started yelling, shooter, shooter, and there was like a stampede of people just running. My dad was outside, so I ran out to pull him in because they were stepping over people.
Police believe 2 people were shooting at each other and say officers quickly responded.
They were right there. They heard the shots and confronted the suspect that they saw actually shooting and stopped that shooting from continuing.
One suspect is now in custody. Police believe a second one fled, but say they do not think there's an ongoing threat to the community. Investigators have recovered 2 guns at the scene and are asking for witnesses to come forward.
We can't solve this without help from our community. So please, if you have information, give us a call. One
witness described what he saw.
I saw at least 1 individual with a switch, semi-automatic. I saw another one that was 2. That's when I heard over that those shots fired. That's when I took off around the corner.
Others ran to help.
Other one was doing CPR. People were grabbing chairs to help them put them up.
It all happened at the popular Bite of Seattle that's billed as drawing 350,000 people over 3 days near the iconic Space Needle. City leaders mourning.
My heart right now is with the victims and their families and with everyone in our community who is reeling from what happened here today.
As investigators work to piece together a heartbreaking scene. Seattle area Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal said the FBI has been in contact with local authorities and that all levels of government are coordinating to make sure officials there get whatever federal resources they need. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Today, Governor Tim Walz is heading to the fire lines in Ely to get an update about the wildfires burning there. This happening as officials reopen parts of the Boundary Waters for the first time in nearly 2 weeks. Some entry points in Cook County will open today, but they're far from where the fires are burning. Camping permits are still canceled at least through Wednesday. The fires have been burning for nearly 3 weeks, sparked from lightning strikes. Officials estimate nearly 70,000 acres have burned in the Boundary Waters. More than 1,300 fire personnel are working to put out the fires.
We've run into some issues the last couple of days with some of the blowover that we received from the last storm. So basically what they're doing is they're going in there, they're cutting out access points through some of the thicker blowover areas, and they're making sure that the blowover didn't land on any hot spots.
The St. Louis County Sheriff's Office says evacuation zones are improving and more people will be able to return home, but access will be limited. Happening today, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will travel to D.C. for a meeting with President Donald Trump tomorrow. It will be the first time the leaders are meeting face-to-face since the war in Iran began in February. The high-stakes visit coming as the U.S. and Iran paused attacks for a second night after nearly 2 weeks of strikes. Right now, the White House says it's weighing more diplomatic options. When asked about renewing strikes on Meet the Press, President Trump's UN ambassador Mike Waltz said Trump is still, quote, keeping all options on the table. Developing right now, Minneapolis condo workers could walk off the job as soon as today after authorizing a strike. Right now, SEIU Local 26 is working toward a first contract with 3 major Minneapolis condoms: River Towers, LaRive, and Riverview. The union says nearly 70 residents have signed a petition in support of the workers' proposals for more affordable health care and higher wages. This would be the 4th condo worker strike in the city since 2022. This morning, the trial begins for a man charged in a standoff at a Dollar General store in Montrose, Minnesota in April 2024. 36-year-old Matthew Thomas Lerek is charged with 11 felony counts ranging from first-degree assault to use of deadly force against a police officer. Lerek was wanted on warrants in 3 counties when deputies tracked him to the store. Court documents say he raised a gun at police when they tried to arrest him. He was shot at multiple times by 2 deputies. Sunday was officially the hottest day of the year as we hit 99 degrees, and the heat isn't just uncomfortable, it's deadly. Officials are saying extreme temperatures are leading to more fish dying. This year, the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources has received 212 reports of fish dying across more than 100 bodies of water, 65 of those coming in between July 16th through the 20th. Chief Meteorologist John Ziegler attributes the persistent heat to a lack of rainfall, but doesn't think we'll beat the record 90-degree stretch.
Do I think we're going to get to the 44 days of 90? Unlikely, but I do think this year is going to come in probably in the top 10 for days in the 90s.
The DNR asks you report any dead fish you see showing up in lakes or rivers to help their team. You can make those reports on the DNR website. And protests are continuing in Madison, Wisconsin this morning, nearly 1 week after a black man was shot and killed by police. Officials say 38-year-old Kare Ruiz was shot after he allegedly pulled a knife on 4 officers. Businesses in the area say they're keeping their doors open and stepping up to help during the protests. Some offering water, AC, and sign-making materials for protesters. Others are even handing out food. Business owners say it's amazing to see so many stores standing in solidarity.
I think one of the most beautiful silver linings we have right now is the community and the way that they're coming together in this way.
I mean, honestly, the priority was to be there for the community. Like, we're probably not going to make anything in sales, really, but that's not the priority.
Officials say right now the shooting is under investigation. Madison police say there's no body cam footage of the shooting since officers aren't required to wear body cameras. We're just under 100 days out from Election Day, and this morning, Senator Amy Klobuchar is announcing plans to lower health care costs as she makes her bid for governor. Klobuchar says she has plans to reduce insurance premiums and prescription drug costs and hopes to bolster rural health care and safety net hospitals.
And I am not afraid to take on the hard fights, whether it's standing up for health care chaos in Washington and standing against it, or standing up for Minnesotans being priced out of their coverage. I have a record of taking on the hard fights, and I have a record of winning them.
Klobuchar is the frontrunner in the Democratic race for governor. On the Republican side, 3 major candidates remain. Kendall Qualls, who earned the GOP endorsement ahead of the primaries, Mike Lindell, who's endorsed by President Trump, and Lisa Damit, the current Minnesota House Speaker. Minnesota voters will head to the polls in the primary in just over 2 weeks. And heads up, if you've had Amazon Prime for a while, you might be able to get some money back. The deadline ends today for a settlement payout. The deal comes from a $2.5 billion lawsuit where the FTC found Amazon tricked customers to sign up for Prime. Eligible customers can get up to $51. Those payments should go out by September. If you want to file a claim or make sure you qualify, we have more details on our website at kare11.com. In today's Communities at Care, we're highlighting the Minnesota Twins. This weekend, they hosted a reverse autograph event with Gillette Children's Hospital. Julia Daniels was there.
Usually when you come to Target Field, you're looking to get some of the Twins players' autographs, right? Especially if you're a big Twins fan. However, hours before first pitch, the roles were reversed.
It's definitely weird. I mean, I'm not used to it, so it's kind of cool that they want my autograph.
Charlie Heiser is a patient of Gillette Children's who came more than ready.
Really nice to meet you. Thank you for the card.
To sign some autographs.
I think it's very hard for us, so getting this support and showing that we are loved from Gillette and we're not just some regular kids is very special.
But it's not just the kids who benefit. Twins shortstop Brooks Lee is a champion for this event.
You know, it makes you a little bit giddy, I feel like, just getting to talk to kids and just getting to see, their handwriting and their stamps and a little bit about them. It's really brief, but you get to see some personality too, and I think that's really awesome.
Well, the kids finished their day with their very own media credentials that allowed them to watch batting practice, enjoy pregame festivities, and of course, enjoy the game itself. Not too shabby for a Saturday. At Target Field, Julia Daniels, Kare 11 Sports.
Not too shabby at all. Stick with us. More news and weather is coming up after the break.